Guys, thanks for tuning in to the first podcast. Me, Mike, and
me, Matt.
Yeah, two. Both our names. First me, first name, and last name is Matt and Mike.
That's how we introduce
from
ourselves
different
to each
families, but we have the same name.
We have the same first name.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's bullcrap.
No.
Oh,
that's my actual name.
Oh, really?
I
was just saying that because I didn't want anybody to really know who we were. But me, Matt, and me, Mike.
I'm me, Matt.
Woohoo! Yahoo! It's a me.
It's a me, Matt.
It's a me, Mario, Dario Mario, Wario Mario. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, thanks for tuning in to our first podcast. Honestly, we've gone through a couple different names, but it doesn't really matter.
You may see those someday when we're in the Podcast Hall of Fame and we release our lost episodes.
Yes.
And we'll probably do commentary for those episodes.
Yeah. Commentary over podcasts.
Yeah. Audio commentary.
Really over audio. It's just like, it's just like somebody eating worms in a cup. Okay. But we somewhat have a format for this inaugural episode. It's probably going to be maybe longer than some of the other ones, but we rarely keep track. I don't think we usually have or will.
I think it'll be just as long as it needs to be.
You know what? That's the right answer, Matt.
Yeah. We can agree on that. We can both agree.
We usually agree on a lot of stuff, though. So.
We should shake on it. Ah!
The sound.
Why are you grabbing my arm like that? It burns.
We're going to do this a lot. This is like radio broadcast. I'm like, oh, what a world. Okay, that's not funny. Or is it? It didn't happen to me. This time we've actually...
All right, so we're done.
The endcast. Come up with a couple... okay, first of all, we are going to do...
We're going to talk movies.
Yeah, we're going to talk movies. And I guess we'll go ahead and get started here. Stop BSing around the bush. We're going to talk about movies coming out or coming soon that we are looking forward to.
Coming attractions.
Yes. Ducknoise.com. So, how you want to do this?
Well, so we have a list.
Yeah.
You have 5?
Yep.
I have 5.
Cool.
Let's get right into it.
So we'll rip up mine and you'll just say yours now.
Yeah. This is a part of the podcast where I'll take over and do all the talking.
And I'm going to go sleep with the fishes. Yeah, see?
On that, I'm deadly serious.
Shit. First cuss word. Poop.
Yeah, this podcast is rated PG-13 for parental guidance.
Prepare Guidos.
Actually, it's not. It's rated R.
I mean Greedo. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. I meant Greedo.
First racial slur.
I didn't mean it. Oh my god. Okay.
This podcast is rated R for racist.
Oh my god. I might as well just kill myself now. Okay, so go ahead with your list.
Should we alternate?
Yeah, let's do that.
All
That's
right.
how smart I am. I didn't know the difference between Guido and Greedo. Like, there's a word. Go for it.
It just means you really like Star Wars.
Yes.
All right. The movies I'm most looking forward to, the list is a little different. It's a lot of sequels.
Cool.
Because that's
There's nothing wrong with the
the
sequel.
world we live in.
Yeah.
Almost all movies that come out seem like they're sequels.
Yeah.
No peeking.
No, I was looking at the
Okay.
thing to make sure it's still recording.
Don't look at my list. I'm cheating.
No. I was like, say the exact same ones.
Mine has Mike Morton written on it.
Looking forward to my
Me,
son.
Mike? This podcast is off to a great start.
Hey, we started off strong.
I know.
It's just like most things. Strong beginning, strong end. The middle's going to suck. But
So, this is a sequel to a movie that we both saw last year.
I like how you're presenting this as like a riddle. Edward Nigma has just appeared. The Riddler.
All mine are going to be like that.
Nice.
It's called a tease. Teasing the audience. But this movie set the world on fire. And we both walked out of the theater kicking up our heels and applauding.
How is that possible?
We were applauding outside as we walked to our cars.
Oh, because it sucked.
No, we loved it.
Oh.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Oh.
This shit is going to be the bomb.
We put our heels back.
We kicked them up.
Because we were pissed.
We were jumping for joy.
Were you jumping for joy, Matt?
Yeah.
Were you actually happy with that movie?
Yeah, I can't wait for the sequel, but only if it stars my favorite character, Megan Fox.
Okay, Matt's already full of shit. Okay.
I'm full of shit.
Yeah. I thought you were serious.
It might be good. I mean,
No, I thought you were serious, like the way you were doing that. I was like, wow, he's totally real. Okay.
you couldn't see right through me.
So you said that, I was like, wait, that can't be right.
So my list is a little bit different, but it's not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Surprise.
But it is a sequel, and it's actually the 6th in the series. It's the 5th sequel. That's
Terminator.
Die Hard 6.
Die Hard 6. That's coming out
And
this
it's
year?
not it's not coming out this year. It's not officially in production, but it's announced. And
I probably should have written down stuff that wasn't coming out this year.
Well, I figured you would probably have some stuff from this year, so I thought I'd get a little crazy.
Nice.
But Die Hard 6,
You're like,
Die Hardest.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, which is a perfect title.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be the final entry in the series, and it's going to... They said they're going to bring back characters from previous movies. Hopefully
Reginald
Bell Johnson
Yeah.
will come back as Carl Winslow, whatever his character's name is.
Yeah.
And it's going to take place in Japan.
I see that.
Bruce Willis will get to kill Japanese people instead of European people.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I hope it actually,
I don't really have so
happens.
much more to say than
The
that,
last,
I guess.
I mean, Die Hard 5 was a huge bomb, and everyone hated it, except us.
Yeah.
So
So
I thought
this
it was
one will
great.
suck too, and we'll like it as well.
Hey, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first one on my list. Die Hard 6, Die Hardest. Please come out someday.
You can't get much harder than hardest. Unless you're
If you can, John McClane will find a way.
to find a pirate gun. Cool.
And murder thousands of henchmen.
So, I'm going to start off my list with one I'm not sure if a lot of people have heard of. It's a movie. It's coming out actually in May. Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's in a role that he usually doesn't do. He usually does action, comedies, that kind of stuff. It's called Maggie. His daughter in the movie is infected with like a zombie virus, and he finds her and brings her back home. But they say like, he's supposed to bring her back to the CDC or whatever, but he's like trying to protect her at all costs. And it's supposed to be, from what I heard, it's supposed to be really, really emotional and dramatic and stuff. So it's something kind of like a step out of Arnold's, acting range. And I heard he does a really good job. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing that.
I'm with you.
It's kind of a different take on the whole thing, because usually when someone gets bit, it's kind of like, well, they're screwed. Like, there's no way to come back from that. But we'll see. I don't really expect her to come back, but I expect there to be some like pretty interesting twists and turns in that.
If it has Arnold in it, I'm already in.
Yeah.
And if he's going for a dramatic...
That'll
he's
be
been doing that a little bit. Like
Right.
The Last Stand had a few scenes that were kind of not real jokey.
Right.
So it looks like this is a continuation of that. And yeah, I'm in.
Sweet.
It's going to be great.
Cool.
I hope.
Well, you're wanted on set then. Go ahead. If you're in.
See you later.
Whee! So what else are you looking forward to?
All right. Next on my list is another sequel.
Bullshit. I'm just kidding.
Now the movie that this is... Why are you laughing?
Because you're already like presenting these as like riddles.
The movie that this is a sequel to was not the best movie ever. It was a big hit, but I didn't love the movie. However, there was a character in that movie that, I don't want to say game changer, but I mean, this character has stuck with me ever since. And the fact that they're going to have him in a sequel is like a dream come true. Have you ever been blarted? Because Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2, Comes out next week.
Here we go.
Woo! When I see him riding that Segway and policing that mall a second time,
Did you write
I
these
won't be
down
able
at
to
work?
contain my excitement.
Did you write all these down at work? You have these written down. God damn it.
So yeah, Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2. Let's get Blarted this summer.
Okay,
Next.
what's the real one?
I did see Paul Blart in theaters, the first one.
I know, 'cause you said you saw it with your mom. She thought it was like the funniest movie ever.
I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, I laughed a couple times, I think. But yeah, that's ridiculous. All right, so we'll get to my real selection. Now, this is also going to be a riddle, but this is real. This is real.
This real.
I'm going to tell you something. I think. Have a little experiment.
Okay.
I think I know something about you that you don't even know yourself.
Huh.
So, okay, let me ask you this. If you had to pick, what's your favorite genre of movies? Or really, what's your favorite genre if you had to pick one?
I don't know, maybe like comedy, maybe? I don't know about that though. Maybe action or horror.
See, I think I know.
Let's say all of them.
I think I know.
What?
You like horror movies, right?
Yeah, they're cool.
What about horror westerns?
Yeah, I like
be into that?
westerns. Yeah,
I mean,
I would be.
I don't think there's really been that many horror westerns.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, you'd be totally into that, right?
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. So what if I told you?
Sounds
there's
like the lead up for like a proposition for porno or something you're giving to me here. Would you be into these specific things, Mike? Because I've got a camera over there.
Look behind that closed door.
And
There's no light on
swallow
it.
this pill.
What if I told you there's a horror western coming out this year?
This year?
Yeah.
How much would that cost me, Matt?
Normal ticket price.
Really?
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
It gets way better. What if I told you it was a horror western starring Kurt Russell?
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Bone Tomahawk.
Wait, I've heard
Coming
of this.
2015.
I've heard of this before, but I didn't know it was a Western horror movie.
Yeah, I'll read you the synopsis. 4 men set out in the Wild West to rescue a group of captives from cannibalistic cave dwellers.
Jeez.
It's going to be probably the greatest movie ever made.
Dang.
There's no official release date yet, but it's coming.
It's because actually they've all been eaten by the cave dwellers. Because it was a
Oh,
documentary. Daughter party of one.
So yeah, Bone Tomahawk
Dang.
is my pick.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
that's a good one. I
Sounds
forgot about
awesome.
that one. You're always coming up with the
You got to go
different
obscure.
ones, Matt. You got to. Why not?
But I mean, it's probably going to be the biggest hit of all time.
Yeah.
Probably even more than Star Wars.
Yeah.
But you heard it here first.
There you go. Probably be coming to a Blu-ray soon. I'm looking forward to Avengers 2. I don't think that's the actual name of it. I think it's like Age of Ultron.
Yep.
Age of Voltron.
Hey, sounds good to me.
But yeah, I'm hoping that since they have the rights to Spider-Man, they'll like sneak him in. Like maybe, if not during the film, maybe like at the end credits, like afterwards, they film something where they're like, "Hey, are you gonna fight for the Avengers?" And he's like, "I'm Spider-Man."
Actually, he announced today that there's not going to be an end credits sequence.
What? How's
Yeah.
that even possible?
I don't know.
Dude, there's gonna be a lot of pissed people.
Joss Whedon being, or maybe he's just.
Josh Whedon being. He's a Josh Whedon being.
He's a Joss Whedon. He's a freak.
He's not a human being. He's a Josh Whedon. Joss.
But maybe he's just.
Saying that to. Well, I mean, at this point, there's like so many. Because they've been like revealing other heroes too, so it's like not all of them are even in the credits or on the poster. So, but I'm pretty pumped about that. Last one was awesome. I can't wait to see more. And
Yeah.
all of it's building up to what's his name, the dude Thanos or whatever Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool.
Like that cartoon character that keeps popping up.
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about the comics, so every time that guy pops up, I'm like, What?
If it was DC, I'd know more because I know like Doomsday and like all those characters. Thanos is like their version of Doomsday. He's like the guy in the universe that's like a total asshole, like ruler or something. But anyway, I'm sure I'll get plenty of people that are gonna try to punch me in the face for saying something about DC and Marvel being alike. But whatever. Cool. So what's your third pick, Matt?
All right. Number 3.
Number 3. Yo!
This is another sequel.
Sweet.
Got a lot of sequels.
Wait a minute.
Now, unlike the other ones that I've talked about...
Is this an actual sequel?
It is.
Or are you fooling me again?
No, I didn't like the first movie.
Turtles?
No. Godzilla. The American
I forgot about
Godzilla.
the second one.
Yeah. It came out last year. I was pretty pumped about
What have
it.
they said about the second one?
Not much. Just that they're making one.
Yeah. I'm really excited about that because I really want them to come out with like monsters like that I know. And
Yeah, unlike super generic ones that were in the first one.
Yeah.
But see, that first movie, it wasn't really about the monsters. It was about the character.
That's true.
I mean,
But
Ford Brody was one of the greatest characters of any movie that year.
Dude, fucking, what's his name? The guy from Breaking Bad sold that.
Bryan Cranston?
He sold that scaffold match fall like a champ. He fell off that, and man, he like died instantly.
No, he didn't. That was even worse.
Oh, that's
He
right,
survived.
yeah. And then they zipped
But then
him
the
up.
next scene, like he survived. He's not dead.
And then
next
they, like,
scene,
were like,
he died. Like, what are you even doing? But it doesn't matter because Ford Brody was such a memorable character. I'm really glad they based the movie around him. And his wife, Elle Brody. I mean, who can forget?
I think it should have been Brody L.
It was horrible.
Or they should have got what's his face, Brody from Mallrats. I would have watched that.
Yeah, I mean,
I think everybody's just looking forward to the sequel. It'd be sweet.
well,
I liked it.
I hope they have
like
more
it.
shots of like when the monsters are finally going to fight after you've been waiting for what seems like hours.
they
And
shoot,
doors
like,
literally close in front of you so you can't see it. That was like a slap in the face. So I'm not excited about Godzilla 2. I'm excited about Godzilla from Toho Studios. Because Toho is making a new Godzilla movie as well. They're going to do it old school, and it's going to be way better than the American horseshit version.
Okay.
So that's my pick.
There you have it.
I'm not messing around.
I don't know what to say about that. Let's see. Number 3, I'd say Spectre.
Nice.
James Bond.
I was hoping this would be on your list.
Skyfall. Awesome movie. Much better than Quantum of Solace. All around Spectre. I think that it's going to finally get back to being... Like, it almost seems like it's like, hey, Mad Men, we're going back to, like, the whole, back when things were cool by having, like
classy 60s style.
The big organization that Bond has to fight instead of just some no-name, oh, I can't feel pain, or I'm a mega conglomerate, or I'm a media mogul, or I've got, like, I cry tears of blood. It's like, who gives a shit?
He cries tears. Oh my god.
Yeah. Stop crying tears.
Disgusting.
But yeah, it's just like, I mean, yeah, it was just, who gives a shit about that stuff? Get back to like James Bond being badass.
Yeah.
So finally, Spectre.
If
The
it's
name
half as
of
good as Skyfall, it's going to be great.
yeah. For people that don't know, Spectre was like the name of the organization. Well, one of the names of the organizations. They also had, I think it was like Smersh or something.
Yeah.
And I think there was one other that Dr. No had at one point, but that he was kind of creating, but he died obviously before.
He was in Spectre.
Yeah, but he had that side deal shit going on. But
Yeah.
Coral, check it out. Ah!
A dragon.
Yeah, it's like, want to try again? But he, like they had those organizations, and there were always, you never knew who they were, and then you finally found out that after a while that it was kind of like, this person was number 1 secretly, this person was secretly number 2, and for the longest time, you didn't know that it went back to all this thing until, like, they made one movie where it was like you finally found out who was the head of everything, and like all these other villains in the previous James Bond movies had been part of this organization. I think they should have kept doing it, but they got off track with some of the movies, and they just kind of never got back to it.
Yeah, there was like some lawsuits going on because like about who owns the character of Blofeld, and that was a big reason for why he hasn't been in any movies for like 35 years.
Wasn't he also in like Never Say Never Again or something?
Yeah.
That was.
But that was by a different studio,
right? So there was like a
yeah.
But anyway, it'll be pretty sweet.
Did you see the trailer or the teaser?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Batista's going to be in it.
Yeah.
What's his name? Like Mr. Finks or?
Yeah, he's going to be
Jinx,
a classic henchman.
Yeah. He's got like facial hair, like a little like goatee.
Like fancy boy.
He's wearing like a newsman's hat or something.
Yeah, it was like cool. Selling papes.
Yeah. It's like, dude, it's going to be awesome. So I just hope he doesn't die in a horrible, stupid way. Hopefully if he dies, well, when he dies, it's going to be like in a cool way. Like he reaches for a hat, like it was on like an electrical wire or something original.
Yeah.
Like in Fort Knox.
Yeah. Now, if they bring back Blofeld, are you going to have a problem since technically he was killed by being thrown down a chimney smokestack?
I don't know. He was saved by a stainless steel delicatessen.
There you go. That answers the question.
Mr. Bond, I'll give you a delicatessen in stainless steel. It's like,
greatest line ever.
Why would he want a delicatessen in stainless steel? He has the money of the British Secret Service at his disposal. He could have somebody make him a sandwich every day for his life. Fuck the delicatessen.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of that. We're not even halfway down this list.
Good choice. Yeah, we're going slow here.
Okay.
You need to pick up the pace.
I know, sorry.
Just kidding.
Once again, it's time for Matt to throw me another curveball.
Yeah, I don't really have much for this one. No.
That's fine.
They're making I can't even make a joke about this one. They're rebooting the Transporter series.
I saw that there was like something about that, but I didn't know it was a remake. I thought it was like a
Transporter
sequel.
refueled.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Is that on your list?
No, it was like my joke pick.
Oh,
I don't even know what to joke about. Like, it's such a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't really get that.
It'd be like making.
Why wouldn't they just make a sequel?
Why wouldn't they just do something else? Like,
well, I mean, like if they're gonna do one, why not make it a sequel? Did he die or something in one of the movies?
No.
Then why
but
would they?
The only reason those movies were good was because Jason Statham.
But he's not going to be in it.
No.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's a whole new guy.
That's what I mean. Then they shouldn't have him. They shouldn't make that movie. I mean, I thought Jason Statham was in the movie.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Fuck that. Next.
But I mean, none of those movies were even. Does anyone even like those?
I thought you did. I didn't know.
love the first one. The sequels are.
Well, you just asked the question that you knew the answer to. You did.
You caught me in a loop.
What the fool? No, you're good.
Mike, you got me.
I'm sorry. It was a joke.
But yeah, that sounds really bad. My real pick is Mad Max Fury Road.
Cool. Nice.
This movie's been in the making for like
8,000 years.
Probably over 15 years.
Yeah.
And every year or two there'd be a rumor. Oh, it's coming.
Mel Gibson's being in it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's Tom Hardy. It's Mad Max.
Okay, so it's like a prequel, I guess.
I don't know.
It's just another Mad Max.
I don't know if it's a reboot, a sequel.
But it's kind of like it's just a continuation.
Yeah,
At this point, because they don't even... they're doing Mad Max, the video game, and like... I'm guessing that'll be just separate because it'll be based off just the comic or whatever, I guess, right?
I don't know.
So... Oh, well.
But it's the same director, which
right.
is the most important part. I mean, I kind of hope that Mel Gibson at least has a little cameo in it.
He should be like his father.
Yeah.
Or his son.
But I don't think that's going to happen. But either way, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be cool.
Hopefully it's mostly like real stunts and like real action instead of like a bunch of CGI bullshit.
I just want to say right now, I am not... okay, so... This is just me. I don't know how you feel about this. I'm not like against CG when it's used for things that cannot be done. Like, but at the same time, if you can do it like physically. If you have the money and the time, just do it. Don't like take the lazy way out. And I'm not like saying this because like, hey, whoever's listening to this, if you're making a movie, do it right now. But,
I know more about you.
Yeah, but
or I know more.
I know more about you.
I know more about you than you. I know more than you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But we don't.
Right, it's
We're
just
two dudes.
When you're looking at the screen, you can tell if something's horseshit and when something's real.
I think
for the most part,
most savvy people that know about movies
Right.
can obviously tell.
I think it's making a comeback too, because a lot of people that are making movies now grew up like we did with like practical effects, and they're like looking at it and they go, okay. I mean, there are exceptions. Like there are certain things, like when I watch like The Walking Dead, like most of the time the actual effects, those are all real except for like when a zombie gets shot in the head. Most of the time they'll do like a, they'll be all, when they show the hole, they have to do that because they can't really, but
John Woo didn't do that.
When he shot someone in the head and killed him?
Yeah.
Jesus, man!
In real life.
Damn!
No,
that's cold!
He used thousands of squibs and it was awesome.
And the guy died. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm talking about like if you were to if you shot a zombie in the head, you would have to either build a model of the head,
right,
or you would have to digitally remove that part of the head.
Yeah.
But okay, whatever. I need to stop talking about
I agree with everything you're saying.
Cool. Like now that you've learned your lesson, Matt.
I know more about you.
Yeah. Shut. Okay, number 4, Jurassic World.
Nice.
We got Chris Pratt. He's coming off of Guardians of the Galaxy. Won that epic dance battle against Ronan. And now he's going to be riding around, Jurassic Park, the new one, successful one, because John Hammond couldn't hack it with his old ass beard. And actually, John Hammond was awesome. I can't say much about
R.I.P.
him. I know.
Too soon.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I was on a roll and I blew it. I went too high, shot for the sun, and went down like Kid Icarus.
Another great choice. I was hoping this would be on your list.
So Jurassic World looks awesome. I was a little squeamish when I saw the water dragon come out of the water or whatever, like the Shamu thing. I was like, ugh.
It looks pretty awesome.
Like, great. I don't want to ever go in water again, but okay. I didn't before. But when he was with the pack of raptors, this is so great. This is...
Yeah.
People are like, oh, that's stupid. I'm like, same people that are like, oh, that's stupid with the hilt, with the lightsaber. Shut up.
Yeah. At least wait till you see the movie to judge it.
I know I judge things before I see them, but at the same time, something
you don't know the context.
Right, it's something as small as that, I mean, I don't know.
It's nitpicking.
Right.
I have one problem. I'm super excited about this movie, but I had a dream that I saw this movie, and it was so awesome. It'll never live up to the actual movie.
Same thing happened.
Because I dreamed that they have, in addition to dinosaurs, they had a giant ape, and they were feeding it humans, and it was so horrifying. I was like, I can't believe this. And they're probably not going to have anything like that.
What?
It was so weird, but it was I was blown away by how crazy.
Why would the ape be eating humans?
I don't know.
Most of the time, apes don't even eat meat. They just eat fruit and stuff, Matt.
It was horrifying.
Jesus!
I was like, this is the most fucked up movie I've ever seen.
Freaking Congalala. Freaking.
So if it doesn't have a giant ape eating people, I'm out.
I'll be there eating people. I'm like,
it was chained down, and they were dangling a guy into his mouth.
So you were dreaming of Jurassic Park mixed with King Kong, I guess.
Yeah.
That'd be a badass movie.
It was almost like Primal Rage, kind of. Because
Primal Rage? Yeah, they used to feed, and they would be burping and farting. Yeah. But I forgot I was going to say something about one thing on Jurassic World, but I'm interested to see how they were able to, for at least a while, make it actually work before, of course, obviously stuff goes to shit, because obviously they've got to have them trained, or they've got to genetically modify them so they understand human language, because before it was shit was just, they were okay, we're going to just let all these raptors run around, and then well hopefully nobody will get killed. I'm yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a reason why everyone liked Jurassic Park so much, because the idea of an amusement park with dinosaurs is so awesome.
Yeah.
Now we'll actually get to see what that looks like.
Right. Jeff Goldblum, I heard he possibly would make an appearance. Boom! Yeah, but we'll see.
That would be awesome.
Apparently Sam Neill didn't get a fucking invite.
Yeah.
But
he's waiting by the phone, single tear.
You were in Jurassic Park 3. Don't ever come back.
Yeah.
Alan. It's you had a dream. Oh, that's what it was. I had a dream about Mario Kart 64 before it came out, and I had a dream that there were all these different characters, and then I got the game, and I was like, fuck. But
that's sad.
Yeah. But it was still an awesome game.
Yeah.
Cool.
On that, we can agree. My last one's a hipster choice. I don't have a joke about it.
Hipster choice?
Yeah.
Better watch what you say on this podcast, man. There may be
Queen of the Desert.
Queen of
The
the
new
Desert.
Werner Herzog movie.
Werner Herzog. Who's that?
He directs documentaries and regular movies.
Julie will probably like that one.
Yeah, like Grizzly Man is probably his most famous movie.
I mean, I'm not saying that she's a hipster. I'm just saying I don't want to get in trouble.
Shh. Yeah, he's got a new movie coming out. It's been a few years, and I don't know. We'll see. The last one he did was pretty crazy. Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, with Nicolas Cage.
So it's not a documentary?
It's not. He does both. Like he
okay.
flip-flops.
It was actually Nicolas Cage. They put him in the army, and he's just a really bad lieutenant.
It could have been.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
So that's my
You never know.
my hipster choice for a movie I'm pretty pumped about.
Cool.
Although I got bad reviews.
You did?
It did.
Oh.
I'd like
So
some
you got bad reviews, you got a bad Yelp.
I got bad reviews on this podcast. It hasn't even been released yet. What the hell?
You said hipster already, Matt. You're in trouble.
Released like we have an official premiere.
Yeah.
Let's premiere the podcast.
Like, presenting Lord and Lady podcast weather from the house of
Duke and Duchess Castington.
from you old recorder in a glass. Mine's kind of a cop out. I couldn't really think of anything besides like another movie coming out, and I did all this at work today. So I just thought of one thing that I'd known about that's supposed to come out this year that is entertainment related. It's not a game. It's like a series. They're creating a new animated Lupin the Third series. It's supposed to be the first one they've done since 1985. So first in 30 years. All the other ones were like movies and stuff. They did have like another one that was from like the view of like the woman, but it was like really like dark. And like they had like Zenigata sleep with her, and I was like, I don't like this. Like it wasn't like goofy and funny like they usually are. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not
Nice. Is that coming out like here? Or overseas?
I think it will eventually, but right now I think it'll premiere obviously in Japan this year, and then eventually it'll probably get some kind of distribution from I think usually like Discotech or like some other, people will put it on DVD.
Nice.
Or Funimation might pick it up. I have no clue, but I always look forward to that kind of stuff because I know that like I don't know how widely known Lupin is. I think it's probably at least known of, but it's not like James Bond where like everybody knows it. But
You're gonna have to drop some knowledge on me.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it.
I'm like, well,
Start at the beginning.
like first of all, yes. But yeah, I guess I could give like a quick rundown. I don't know the actual like series. Like I mean, all I know is
We should have a whole podcast about it.
oh shit, man, damn. Okay, well that'll be one of the podcasts coming up then.
All right.
Dang. Okay, and then we could do one like based on something.
Challenge accepted.
I'm like, oh. Like we actually start the podcast.
I feel like I'm lying. I'm
I'm a big
Lupin.
fraud. I just said Lupin because I thought it was cool. I was like, why would you say that? Why wouldn't you say something more people have heard of? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So, let us now talk about movies that we recommend.
All right. Movies we've seen recently.
Yeah.
You liked. They better be recent.
The problem is, I got about one in and totally couldn't think of anything else I'd seen recently.
Well, then they just flat out don't count.
Ew, shit. Oh. Actually,
I'm calling you out on the podcast.
I'm calling you out, Hollywood Hogan. Cool. So
Not really. Just any movie that we've seen
okay.
at any point that you liked.
I did put like 3 recent ones on here, and then I kind of put some other ones on here. I've got some honorable mentions because it's hard for me to kind of like, because movies you recommend, it's like, yeah, okay, I could say all these movies, but the honorable mentions, I'm not going to say much about those. I'm just going to say the names because we don't have time to go through every single one and talk about them. There's going to be other podcasts, but
No commentary, just
Yes.
names.
But the movies recommend. Let's see. Do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Go for it.
All right. First one is
So like I was.
Oh,
damn,
podcast
damn,
over. Dun, 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 woo! You got me. You got me a second time. There will not be a third. Sorry.
Oh my god. Woo! Y'all gonna make me. Cool, go for it.
My pick is John Wick.
I need to see that movie. You told me it was cool.
Everyone needs to see this movie.
Yeah.
Especially
John Wick. You told me he's an assassin that kills other assassins, right?
Yes. Okay. But that's just
The tip of the iceberg of the whole thing. Okay.
It's Keanu Reeves
Being cool.
in one of the greatest action movies ever made.
I think Keanu Reeves gets a lot of heat, but I think that he does the stoic character very well, like the non, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but that's the thing about this movie is he does that, but it's also a revenge movie, so he gets to get pissed.
Damn, I don't think I've ever seen Keanu Reeves mad before.
Yeah,
that might be scary.
He's like, I said we gotta learn how to play guitar.
Like, was that a good Keanu Reeves or not?
Bus.
You can text us. I guess. I'll put this on YouTube first, and then we can kind of figure out where else to put these podcasts.
All right.
If you like whatever you think, just put it in the comments, and then I'll delete them. No.
Then we'll delete the whole podcast.
Yeah.
Just like, this was shit. Like the guy write a comment on there like, fuck this.
Yeah. You make a Facebook account just so you can like give it thumbs down.
MadMikeHaters.com.
Yeah. Boo to that piece of poop. Okay. We gotta hurry up because we need to get to, we got the main attraction coming up eventually here.
Guys, the whole podcast is a main attraction.
That's true. You know what, Matt? I just got some warm feels from that.
I mean, why have an appetizer where you can just eat steak all night long?
What's it from?
I don't know. I just made it up.
I thought that was from something.
That doesn't sound good, like just eating nonstop steak.
Yeah, that doesn't.
I think we blew it on this podcast then. We're delivering too much high quality shit.
It's okay. It'll be high quality all the time until it's not.
All right.
Which will be in 5 seconds.
John Wick.
John Wick, sweet.
I loved it.
Nice. That's awesome, man. I'll have to check that out. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So,
What's yours?
I have to recommend wholeheartedly, and I've seen this movie already twice in theaters, What We Do in the Shadows. I can't recommend this movie highly enough. I was interested to see it, but the first time I went and saw it was with Julie and Maureen, Zach, and Jonna and Anna, I think. I'm trying to think who else was there. Dang, I'll have to look this up. But anyway, like, it's a really good movie. I mean, I don't really want to say too much about it because the whole thing about the movie is that it's shot in a documentary style. So it's, I don't know, you've heard about it, I'm guessing?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's
like a horror comedy type?
Yeah, it's like it follows these vampires that room together, and it goes through like their daily, what they do, and then also leading up to like this big event that they are really excited for, and along the way all this stuff happens and things change their, what things are going on, change their lives and everything. But it's hard to really talk about without like kind of like, hey, this part was awesome and I like this part and this part was cool and stuff, because yeah, it's hard to
It has the guys from Flight of the Conchords.
Yes. Well, it has Jermaine.
Okay. That guy's hilarious.
I don't know if the other guy is in it. He might have been like in a scene, but I don't remember specifically him being like
a main character.
Right. Yeah. Like it seems it's like the other people, like the the band manager from Flight of the Conchords.
I don't think so.
He was like their band manager, but he's in it for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's really just about it as far as like all the people that were actually.
I need to put it on top of my list.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So.
All right. My next pick, Interstellar.
Nice.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I know.
I really liked it.
Julie didn't think it was like the greatest, but I actually thought it was pretty good. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah.
But
I normally don't love like Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're all really good, but this was the first one that blew me away.
Yeah,
I think maybe So you liked it?
Yeah.
Nice.
By the way, I blew it.
What happened?
I meant to say Ariane for the last one, though. I went and saw the movie with Ariane, like Julie's friends. I blew it, Matt!
Well, this will be our farewell podcast.
Because Matt's going to take me out back and beat me with a leather rod.
Our days of podcast.
Wait, a leather rod? How's that going to work? You get it really hard and you go to hit me with it and it turns flaccid. I'm like, Matt, this isn't hurting at all. You're like, I know.
Why did I choose leather at the rod store?
It's a leather rod. It's a freak. Yeah, but I thought that movie was really good. I definitely like the... it made you think a lot. Like, the whole, like... well, I don't know. I can't really talk about it without giving it away. Like,
yeah,
I guess...
I wouldn't want to give away things,
Yeah.
but it's...
It's hard to, like...
Yeah.
recommend a movie without really talking about it. For me, like, because I really want to say, hey, this is awesome and that was awesome. But
Yeah, for me, like, a lot of movies, I'm weird, I guess, and then sometimes I don't, when I watch movies, I don't really even follow the story. Mm-hmm. It's just like when the images and the sound is like blowing me away.
Yeah.
And that's what Interstellar did. Like, it was like all the stuff that
happened
was so cool, and like, especially my favorite part about the movie was the sound.
Yeah, the sound.
And a lot of
really
people
good.
complained about it because like the mix was kind of weird, and like people complained you couldn't hear the dialogue.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I read about that online, and I kind of noticed that too. But I thought that was cool because like during some of the intense scenes, like the music was so loud and the sound effects were so loud, and like people were screaming. It was so intense, like I didn't care.
It almost seemed like I think it was supposed to be like that. Like,
I think
whenever
so too.
you watch like something and like something will be happening, but the only thing you can hear is music. It's kind of like that kind of a scene where you're like, you're not supposed to hear the dialogue. You can maybe make out what they're saying when their lips are moving, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the dialogue is the what's it called, the primary focus of the scene.
Right, exactly.
It's like the imagery and what's going on, and you're like,
But on top of that, I thought the story was really cool, and I like,
yeah,
it was kind of science fiction-y,
It was good. It was kind of science fiction-y.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, what do you got?
Well, Hot Rod. I just now saw that movie.
Oh, yeah, nice. I love that movie.
Yeah. Julie like showed it to me. She was like, "Oh, you got to see this movie," and like, I wasn't like, because I remember seeing like a trailer for it at one point and thought it was like really stupid looking. And
I thought so, yeah.
And she said that same thing. She's like, "Yeah, I saw it, but I was really surprised." And like I was like, "Yeah, it was really funny. And it was really, really." I don't know. It was totally different. It was one of those things where you can totally see where this is made by the same people, kind of that did like the Lonely Island and stuff, because it's like real. I mean, as far as like he was in it, and then like the other guy was in it and stuff. I mean, it's not completely like, hey, we made this movie, but like, they were in it and stuff, and it kind of seemed like humor somewhat was in there. It was really out there, and
yeah, I think that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
Like the humor was like kind of random humor.
Yeah.
Like Happy Gilmore is kind of that same kind of style. Like just weird stuff would happen for no reason, but it was like funny.
Yeah.
Like the riot scene that happened.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part because it like comes out of nowhere.
Scrooge.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you saw that. That's classic.
It was really good.
All right, my next pick.
My nose.
So Boyhood came out last year, and it was a big deal. I still haven't seen it yet, but I really want to. And you saw that, right?
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. That was one that honestly a lot of these movies like I wouldn't have seen if Julie hadn't at least showed them to me. Like Boyhood, I probably wouldn't have seen that movie honestly. But I was really surprised it was good.
Yeah, so that's on my list, but that's not my pick. My pick is the same director, Richard Linklater. Made a movie a couple years before that called Bernie.
I think I've heard of
with Jack Black.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Is that the one where he marries the old lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Nice.
And I think you'd like it. But it's weird because it's like it's based on a true story. And it's half a regular movie mixed in with half actual documentary. So like actual people who were really involved with what happened.
Oh wow.
Are like interviewed, and it's just mixed in with the scenes with Jack Black.
Dang.
Who's playing a character.
So it's kind of like he's acting a recreation
Exact-
the
yeah.
events and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
that's
it's
awesome.
really cool. And Jack Black is great in it because he's kind of like a southern effeminate guy. Like,
Right.
oh, hey.
Yeah.
He's really great. So you should see it.
That's awesome.
I really liked it.
Sweet. 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
another
some
one I
comedy's
thought.
going.
That was another one I thought was kind of like, I thought it was gonna be stupid, but I saw it and I was like, oh my
They
god.
were stupid. But
They
in a
were,
good
but
way.
yeah, they were
Well-
hilarious.
The second one was more stupid than the first.
Right, but my name is Jave.
Yep.
Yeah, great movies. You got to watch them if you haven't seen them. I know, like I'm saying a lot of comedies. Usually, I don't like recommend comedies as much
I love
because
it.
a lot of times comedies can get really like. I mean, this is with any genre, but I feel like sometimes comedies can get just really like the same joke over and over again. But I feel like these kind of are like so random and so out there that the more random something is, and the more different something is, I think the better it is as far as that goes.
Yep. I
'Cause
agree.
you have to make yourself stand out.
But those movies, they also make fun of themselves,
Right, yeah.
which is I always
The end credit sequence.
Yeah,
The
that
second
was
one.
probably the best part of
Yeah.
any of them.
That was
Looks like a
awesome.
giant cube of ice.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Good picks. All right, my next is a documentary
Mm-hmm.
called Life Itself. And it's
Wait,
about
Life
Roger,
Itself.
It's about Roger Ebert.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's kind of about his life, and especially like his last days.
Days and stuff, yeah.
But I'm a huge Roger Ebert fan. I think most
Right.
people are.
I remember you used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, really Siskel and Ebert,
Yeah, you and
we would watch that
Yeah,
like every
Dad.
Saturday morning.
yeah.
And it was great because like those guys, they had like the ultimate love-hate relationship.
Right.
So like they would yell at each other and like criticize each other and say horrible things about each other, but then you always knew that they actually liked each other, and when they agreed on something,
Yeah.
it was like it felt so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this movie's about Roger Ebert. You see, like he was in really bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see him like before he died?
I remember seeing at least when like they had to take his jaw out.
Yeah,
That was pretty messed
he
up.
had no jawbone.
Yeah,
like
and he
had
was
no
always like,
tongue.
it looked like he was always smiling or whatever.
Yeah, because they left the skin.
Yeah.
Like all
So
that
it was
just like
like-
dangling.
Yeah.
And it was just like hanging there, and there's
It's like-
a hole. You could like put your whole arm through it.
Yeah.
And he like couldn't eat anymore. He couldn't talk.
Yeah.
But so it does show like him dealing with that.
Yeah.
But it also talks about just his history. So
Right.
if you like Roger Ebert, definitely check it out.
Nice.
That's my pick.
Nice. I'm like, well, I actually did 3. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, I done blew it, Matt. Let's see. Next one's gonna be actually the next 2 will be animated for me.
Alright.
The Castle of Cagliostro or whatever how it's called, Lupin the Third. Pretty much, I'd say that with any like Studio Ghibli movie.
Is that like the original?
It's the first feature length.
Okay.
And it was directed by like the same guy that did all the other Studio Ghibli movies. Like, well, not all of them. He started with some other people, but he directed that, and actually like the last 6 episodes of the original, I think 12 or 13 original animated series, Hayao Miyazaki.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had one guy, and it was like too dark, and they were like, we got to bring somebody else in. So like they brought him in to kind of like, lighten the mood and stuff, and then he did this movie, and that's kind of when things started to take off. But that, and then any of the other Studio Ghibli movies like Spirited Away and stuff.
I think that's the only one I've ever seen.
Spirited Away. That's
And I
a really
liked
good
it.
one.
I liked it.
If you see one, that's a good one. I mean, also Howl's Moving Castle. I mean, there's a lot of different ones. Like I like Porco Rosso, I think it is, because Michael Keaton does the voice of the main character in that one.
Nice.
I watch them all in English because they're all like celebrity voices. I mean, I guess you could watch them in Japanese, but I watched them in Japanese once and I didn't like it as much. But that's only because I think I seen them in English first.
Yeah, well, plus those movies are like super visual.
Right.
So if you have to take your eyes off the screen for like a second to read subtitles,
Yeah.
you're gonna miss probably
Yeah.
a ton of cool stuff.
And I know like a lot of people are like, oh, you should only watch like anime like with subtitles with Japanese. It's like, I don't know. I mean, like if it's done well enough, I think dubs are good.
Yeah. I normally agree with that, but for something like an animated movie that's like real fantastical.
Yeah.
You want to be able to watch. What's happening.
I don't think I read subtitles anymore unless it's like something like a lot of times Lupin stuff doesn't get dubbed. You have to read the subtitles and stuff. So
Sometimes the dubbing is just better than like Godzilla 2000.
Yeah.
Where they like were joking.
yeah,
It was like Great Caesar's ghost.
yeah. Well, I know that like for some series it's generally just better when it's dubbed. Not all the time. I mean, like it's like some of the characters' voices are lower and it just makes more sense. But some I don't know. It's whatever. That's a debate that'll go on forever.
Yeah.
But I recommend those definitely.
All right, so reply back hashtag team subtitles
Yeah.
or hashtag team
Yeah.
dub.
Hashtag. Don't pick the wrong one, please.
Everyone just votes hashtag end the podcast.
Hashtag in Mike's life. By shooting Mike. Wait,
What?
that didn't make sense. Go for it. Is
Please
this your
don't shoot
last
Mike.
one? Yeah, hashtag.
All right, my last pick is Noah. Came out about a year ago, starring Russell Crowe as Noah,
Oh, okay.
like from Noah's Ark.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah, did you see it?
I'm checking to see.
We're
if
gonna
you
have
have
our first disagreement.
Well, no, I'm checking to see if you have something
No,
else.
this is not a joke.
Okay, your face. No, the way you were doing it, like it didn't seem like you were
No.
telling the truth.
I spent all my jokes. I promise.
Oh, okay.
I shot my joke wad at the beginning.
You're like, ah.
The jokes were just too good. I couldn't keep up that pace. No, Noah's my real pick.
Okay.
I loved it.
Nice. I'll have to
'Cause
check
it's
it
like-
out.
The story of Noah. but
Right.
I don't want to say realistically, but like it makes you
Right.
think about like the actual Bible story and how fucked up it is.
All right.
Because like God killed everyone on earth except for
Right.
like Noah and a few other people.
Right. So it's like
Yeah, and it shows that like when they build the ark, you know,
in that story
when the
yeah.
ark first, you know, the flood happens and they're all inside the ark and you hear people outside like screaming like, "Please save us! Oh God, we're all dying!" And it's
Yeah.
like horrifying.
Jeez.
It's like,
I never thought about that part of it.
yeah, there's a lot of and there's a towards the end of the movie, Noah tells the story of Genesis, like how the
Phil Collins.
yeah.
Nice.
Like, see, Peter Gabriel in the early 70s. No.
I'm gonna shoot you with invisible lotion. Wait, I don't think those are the lyrics.
Was it you or was it me? Or was it Noah's Ark?
It's like, huh? So he tells the story of Genesis.
Yeah, he like when the earth was created and like all the way through the creation of man.
Right.
It's like a weird animation photography.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's like a little 2-minute
Huh.
scene, but it was like, it blew me away.
Dang, that's
There's
cool.
lots of cool stuff in that movie. Plus Russell Crowe, I think he's usually pretty good when he's in a good movie, and he was pretty great.
And he
as
cares.
Noah. Yeah.
Nice.
So I thought it was awesome.
Awesome.
Plus Ray Winstone is like the bad guy in it.
Ray Winstone.
Jonesy! Mac from Indiana Jones 4. And Sexy Beast, the guy from Sexy Beast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's
Sexy
like Noah's
Beast.
enemy in it.
I didn't know Noah had an enemy.
I think they made up a lot, or they like stretched the Bible story as far as it could go. Because like he has there's a huge battle in the movie.
On water?
No, like right as the floods happen,
Oh,
like, Noah's
okay.
like battling a huge army, and like there's all these.
How's
rock-
that even possible?
Dude, he has rock demon monsters that like help him fight.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, I have to watch this.
it was
movie
awesome.
now.
I'm not making it up.
I watch it and it's like the boringest thing ever, and you're just like, "Gotcha, you idiot!"
No, I think you'd like it. It's,
Okay,
it's pretty.
sweet.
It's pretty out there.
Yeah, I'll have to. Wait, why didn't he just like if he knew the flood was coming? Why didn't he just close the gate and wait for all those armies to gather around the boat, and then the water comes in and they drown?
Well, that's kind of what happened, but they would have broken.
okay.
in.
That's
He-
true.
He,
He had to kind of like hold them off until the
Yeah.
water got there.
yeah.
Cool. That's cool, man. I'll check it out. Yeah,
Check it
baby.
out. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh shit!
Dead. I've been shot. So my last pick is, like I said, another animated thing. A lot of the DC animated stuff is pretty high on my list. Specifically, Justice League, Flashpoint Paradox, or Justice League Doom, Batman, Superman, Public Enemies. So, real quick, Batman and Superman Public Enemies, that's where Lex Luthor becomes president, and he pretty much sets it to be like Superman kills someone, and then Batman and Superman are now public enemy number one. So superheroes and villains are after Batman and Superman.
Sounds like a good setup.
Then Justice League Doom is a bad guy called like Vandal Savage, gets a hold of Batman's like secret plans for if the Justice League goes rogue, and he uses those plans to turn them onto the Justice League. So the only person that can stop Vandal Savage is Batman, the person that actually made the plans for a contingency. Wow. So yeah. The other one is Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. It's actually the Flash goes back and, well, something happens where like his mom, it's kind of like with Batman, his parent gets shot, but like if his parent didn't get shot, would he still, you know what I mean? And then like things change, and instead of like Bruce Wayne becoming Batman, Bruce Wayne is the one that gets shot, and his dad becomes Batman, and his mom becomes the Joker. And there are a bunch of other things that like, happen, like Aquaman like tries to take over the world, as does like Wonder Woman. So they're like both fighting and stuff, and there's all this stuff going down, like bad guys are good guys, and it's like another what if scenario.
It sounds pretty cool. Is it like actual animation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a lot of these. Like some of them have been on Netflix and stuff. There's also the latest one they did was, I think, Batman Assault on Arkham, and it's actually just a Suicide Squad movie, but it's like like the characters from Arkham Asylum, the game, like Harley Quinn and like all those characters. It's based in that like actual universe, and the whole setup is that they have all these villains that they pretty much get like bombs put in them, like Snake Plissken, and if they don't do what they're told, they'll like die. So they have to break into Arkham and like steal this stuff.
Nice.
Without like being detected, and all the while like Batman's being distracted, and then the Joker gets set free, and all this stuff happens. So it's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty great.
Yeah. So if you're into DC stuff and you like and it's not a lot of the stuff, especially like the Assault on Arkham one. That one was like super gory.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a part where some guy's head gets like a couple of times when people's heads explode. There's a guy called King Shark that, like, in the beginning of the intro, like, the police bust in and there's, like, these bodies everywhere, and he's, like, swimming in, like, this big bathtub, and it's just blood.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I totally, wholeheartedly... Do you have any honorable mentions that you would suggest people?
I don't.
You didn't really probably go that far, huh? Because I always go too far with that kind of stuff.
You caught me.
I'll just say...
Those sound great.
Yeah.
I will tell you a funny story about Batman, though, because, like, I don't really know anything about the
You're
comics.
like, he smells like poop. I'm like, oh, that's bad.
Jingle bells, Batman smells.
Damn.
Did you know that?
I do now, son.
I never knew anything about the comics, or, all I knew was, like, the first movie with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember
That's pretty much what you need to know, man.
Well, I remember back in the day, like, having arguments with comic book nerds. I was like, dude, this is bullshit. The Joker killed Batman's parents. It happened in the first movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think that actually happened in the comics. So
it's weird because, like, with the Joker, they have so many different, like...
But that's not the official story.
Right. I mean, I don't even know if there is an official story. Sometimes they say, like, there's a guy named Jack Napier. Sometimes I don't think they've ever really named with the Joker. I mean... If you go online, there's so many different ones because there's like Silver Age and Golden Age and like present day. Yeah. So it's like, but like the Joker, now they have him where he like somebody ripped his face off and then he got it back, and it's like, so there's and it's like I heard sometimes that he's like he has a new persona every day or something, and I'm like, well, he's always the Joker, so that doesn't make any sense. Whatever. But what did they say when you told them that?
I think they thought I didn't know anything.
Well, they didn't know anything.
All I knew was...
If so, they would have seen the Michael Keaton movie.
Yeah.
Because he's Batman, and they're not.
You want to get nuts?
It's showtime. But,
smoking! Wait, wrong movie.
Somebody stop me!
Ace Ventura! Wait,
Truman Show.
Truman Show.
But honorable mentions, I'm going to go through these. I'm not going to say much about these at all. Original Turtles 1 and 2, Karate Kid Trilogy, Escape from New York, Ghostbusters, The Thing, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones 1 through 3, Big Trouble in Little China.
Bullshit, where's 4?
Day of the Dead.
Nice.
And, of course, you know, the other ones. But this is what I was writing this really quickly at work, so.
Cool.
Okay, so.
Put your notes away.
Okay. So now.
This is a closed book test.
This is now the portion where we take up all of your time.
All right.
We're going to talk about. We've got the main the lists out of the way, and I'm sure that probably took quite a while, but we're now getting to the meat of the subject. We've had our mozzarella cheese sticks in our soup, and we're getting to the meat. And Matt, what is it this time? What is the meat?
Star Wars prequels.
Yep.
It's a loaded subject, just like a loaded baked potato.
Yeah, we're
Delicious, yet deadly. Because it'll clog your arteries. All that cheese and butter.
Yeah, we've got. I don't know how differing these opinions are going to be on this. We're
Probably not.
well, okay. So first of all, like I'd say like Matt is a way bigger Star Wars fan than I am. He's got a lot more Star Wars stuff. He's watched the movies probably a lot more than I did. I didn't know about Star Wars till kind of like I was older.
Okay. I feel like you're ripping on me right now.
No, I'm not ripping on you. I'm saying if anything, like I don't know as much about Star Wars as you do because, I mean, you grew up. I know like Nate, you know Ryan, all those guys. You guys were all super big into Star Wars, and when I was a kid, I didn't really ever watch it. But I got into it. I liked the originals. They were awesome. I remember for my birthday, you gave me like some VHSs you had that were VHSs of the originals. And those, you know, I like those. Those were cool, the original movies. And I remember the prequels came out. We went and saw those. And at the time, I think everybody was like, "These are pretty sweet." And then the more time went on, the more we started thinking about it. And I mean, honestly, this is like, you know, the horse is a skeleton by now as far as how much meeting has been going on to the subject.
Oh, yeah.
But we haven't put our 2 cents into it, and we thought we would just, you know, take some time today and talk about.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd give you a setup on that because, you know, so you would know where we're coming from. I don't know if you wanted to add anything.
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of defended the prequels. One, just because it's more Star Wars, and I was, you know, so into it. Like,
Right.
they could have been 10 times worse, and I still would have defended them because it just was Star Wars. Now, some people would argue that it wasn't in a lot of ways, and
Somebody wouldn't say it was Star Wars?
yeah, it's not my Star Wars.
Well,
And it's hard for me to argue that, but
it's okay. So I don't really subscribe to the whole thing that like it's not Star Wars because it is Star Wars. But I will say that it's not where I would have gone with it.
yeah,
I definitely would not have gone the way.
and that's probably the biggest problem because everyone had their own, you know,
idea
story in their mind of what happened.
Yeah.
Because this was before the days where everything had an origin story and everything had a prequel.
Yeah.
And you could kind of just think it up yourself.
Yeah.
And so most people's what's in their imagination is better than, you know, anything George Lucas could have done in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So it was set up. It was destined to fail, for starters. What?
I see that. I can see that. So how are we going to go about this?
Well, I mean, I can't. It's hard for me to defend them because in a lot of ways they're not good movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I always have positive feelings about them because, like, especially when Episode 1 came out, it was like the biggest deal.
Right.
It was like the biggest thing in the world.
I think maybe
months.
as time went on, like as the movies went on, they got better. But to me, they got less. Like, I got less invested in them because I knew where things were going.
Right.
And also, the first one was like that big event. It was like years and years later since, you know, Return of the Jedi had come out. So it was like
It was years in the making.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, and no one will realize this unless you lived it, but like no one, before that movie came out, right up until that movie came out, no one even imagined that it wouldn't be good.
Yeah, I remember everybody was like, there wasn't like one person that was like, what if this is shit?
Yeah.
It was like,
you just couldn't even imagine
it wasn't even a question.
Right.
Yeah. And
So-
I think maybe if it was like, it came out now and it had been like, they're just now doing episode 1, it would be different because there's so many cynical people on the internet that they'd be like, I bet this is going to be I mean, just look at The Force. I mean, of course, this is after the prequels. They're doing The Force on, what's it called? The Force Awakens?
Yeah.
But, you know, it might be like that. I don't know.
I think it'll be different now. I mean,
Yeah.
people's expectations are probably more realistic now.
Yeah. But, of course, it's also because of that and other movies that have come along that have
Right.
totally destroyed what they thought was going to be.
Right.
But, okay, let's get to...
So, okay. Yeah.
how did you want to go about this?
Well, I just want. I'm kind of giving my overall.
Well, fuck that shit!
I'm sorry.
Here comes Mongo!
Put that leather rod away.
It's a little noodle. But you were saying, yeah?
I guess my last defense will be, I look at these movies like I look at an album from a band I really like. You know, most bands, you know, they have their period where they're really good, and then as they get older, they start to suck more and more. But, you know, if they release an album that kind of sucks overall, there's still maybe 1 or 2 songs on there that I really like. That's kind of how I view the prequels. Like, yeah, they might suck overall, but there's little parts of them that I did like, and I'll choose to, like, accept those parts
Yeah.
and reject the other parts and not worry about it.
How sad is this?
It is a little bit sad, but this is the world we live in. Thanks a lot, George Lucas. You see what you've done to me? I'm a ruined man.
Matt was just presenting his case in front of the judge of Star Warsdom. That was his opening statement.
Yeah.
So, I guess we can get into this however you want to get into it. I pretty much at work, like I said, I think that we're going to kind of just go off on tangents anyway,
Sure.
but I wrote down speaking points here for what I thought was wrong, some of the things, and then I also wrote some stuff that I liked about them, because there are definitely a couple things that I loved, and there are more things I did not, obviously, but...
Well, let's go through it. Let's start with things that were wrong. Is that your first? All right, let's.
Actually, maybe we should do what's right first, because I feel like...
Do you want to end on a negative?
Well, I think too many people shit on the prequels, maybe.
Well, we're going to shit on them, but then once we're done shitting on them, we'll do it.
You think that's better for him?
I think.
Okay, let's do it that way. Let's do it that way, man.
Yeah.
Because that way you won't kill yourself tonight.
I'm sorry to disagree with you.
You're going to swallow a noose. And it'll get lodged in your throat like a bone sideways, like a dog. Don't worry about him. He's just hacking on a bone, Clark. Okay. So why don't you go first, man? You were just defending the prequels. Let's see you shit on them like the bastard you are. Just kidding. You're not a bastard. You're a cool guy.
Oh, man.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
You're already sweating here. Okay. So I'm going to have to go, first of all...
Where do you even begin? That's the hard part.
Well, I've got a bunch here, but
All right.
I'm just going to start with saying... Jesus, I don't know what to say about this.
It's hard.
The Jedis being like total dumbasses.
Yeah, that's
For the most
that's
part,
a great place to start.
Because you can also splinter off and say that there were way too many Jedis for there to be so many blunders in this entire movie series.
Yeah, well, I mean, this goes back to when all we had was the original trilogy.
Right.
And you didn't know anything about the Jedis,
Right.
other than they sounded awesome.
Yeah. And it was unique enough so that it would be like, instead of having like,
Right.
you know, Batman and Joker, it'd be like, well, what if there was also like, there were like 12,000 Batman and like 2 Jokers, and the 2 Jokers were just as powerful as the 12,000 Batman.
You like Batman? What if he had 1,000 friends just like him? That'd be even more awesome.
That would be, until you
No.
saw it and thought of it.
Yeah.
Not only that, but how inept could you be? It'd be like if Batman was a regular It wasn't, they weren't Batman, they were just people in Batman costumes.
Yeah, and I think George Lucas defenders would say that was the point. It was like, that was the Jedi's downfall, is they, you know...
They didn't
Were too
train, it
bureaucratic.
wasn't training for quality, it was training for quantity, maybe?
Yeah.
Because there were too many and none of them...
Yeah, they have classrooms with like thousands of kids in them. Like, seriously?
They're all like, and Jedi. Yeah,
So,
oh my God.
pretty much, if you can go to daycare, you can be a fucking Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The Jedi, you know, we always thought they were like mythical badasses,
Yeah.
right? But in the prequels, they're not. They're just like jerks that sit around a conference room.
And the problem, okay, so
There's a
like
huge army
the
of
funny,
them and-
okay, this is gonna like splinter off into so many things because the whole when you brought up conference room, that also brings up the whole like even there needing to be a Jedi Council, and there even needing to be a Trade Federation,
Yeah.
and there even needing to be like secret closed dealings and
Yeah, because you know what? All those things aren't cool.
Yeah.
Which is what we thought Jedi
It's
were.
like, hey, let's just film like, you know, ExxonMobil before they start doing their shady dealings of like their oil and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like who gives a shit about that? Like,
Right. Star Wars is a fantasy movie. It's an adventure movie.
It was too close to depressing
Mm-hmm.
and underhanded and sleazy things that happen in real life for you to be like, wow, this is awesome. I love knowing that I do secretly get fucked every day.
Yeah.
Like,
That's true. There were too many, the real life
well, like,
metaphors.
it was like, okay, we have a Senate. Oh, sweet. We have a Senate in real life, and it's just as boring.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that these people are aliens, and it doesn't change the fact that one of them is proposing a bill, and they're all voting on it. Like, who gives a flying shit?
Right.
Like, they couldn't, like, rub two sticks together and start a fire if they fucking were all made of matches.
Right.
It was boring to watch. It was probably boring to shoot.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so another thing, I'm about to.
Well, hang on. Before you go
Okay.
move on, I'll keep comparing back to
Yeah.
the original movies because, like you said, there's so many like boring details that they explain everything.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they didn't do in the original Star Wars.
Yeah.
I still think that's one of the major reasons why those movies are so great is because they bring up things that have no explanation.
Right.
So like your imagination runs wild. Like Han,
Right.
Han says, Jabba the Hutt's on my ass.
Right.
No one knows who that is or what.
Right.
You know.
You're like,
But your
okay,
mind
well,
runs
maybe
wild.
that's a crime boss, or maybe that's like a bounty
Yeah.
hunter, or maybe that's just like some guy that's trying to kill him.
Yeah, and there's
You don't
tons
know.
of stuff like that in those movies.
And not only that, but that monster in the pit, you never see the full monster. It's just like
Right.
the things, and then like I think later on they do show what one looks like, and it's freaking horrifying. But you don't, you know what I mean, like in the games. But like just that small part was enough to know that you didn't want the rest of the monster. Like,
Right.
But
And they don't do that at all in the prequels. It's all like everything.
everything's
is
explained.
Yeah.
Nothing is actually scary in the prequels either. So there's nothing really that I can remember like that where it's like
Watto was scary.
those deals were like
Those deals were so low, they're scary.
yeah. But just the whole like the thing when I was like with the Senate, okay, so you have somebody had to come up with every single one of those aliens, which is cool because you have diversity. But then why in the holy shit did they decide to bring the Wookiees into the freaking movie if they made all these other damn races? They could have just had like all these other races like trying to like, you know what I mean? Because they showed like in episode 3 they were forming this army trying to help fight back and stuff, and instead they were just like, oh, just kidding, we've got the Wookiees and all these other guys that are on the Senate are fine with, you know, murdering.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so somebody made all that stuff just for those scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So pointless.
You keep saying somebody, but you know who it was.
Well, George Lucas didn't make them because he didn't actually put the time and work into actually like making them with like.
Yeah.
He actually told someone to do that, and that poor bastard had to sit there and make like a bunch of different races.
Have you seen any of the like behind the scenes?
Yeah, where like
He's
the guy will do the shit, and he'll come in and be like, "I don't like the ears on that one. Change it."
Well, he has like thousands of models that he probably like spent his entire life working on.
Yeah.
Like, abandoned his family, and George Lucas walks in. He's like, "Nope,
Yeah.
nope, that one looks okay. Lose the ears on that one. See you later."
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm like, how about you do a damn day of work, you piece of shit? Speaking of the Wookiees, that was the retconning thing where not retconning, but they had so many okay, Boba Fett didn't need to be in the fucking movie. Nobody needed to be in the movie except for like if it was going to be a prequel, then the Skywalker name. Okay, you got to have that. You possibly have to have Obi-Wan because they said that he knew him in the wars. If you're gonna keep the wars in there, okay, that's fine. But why the hell do you need Boba Fett? Why the hell do you need freaking all these other people to somehow tie back into, oh my gosh, I knew this person, and then we're going to drop off these kids with the fucking,
It goes back to, in the original movies, Boba Fett, you didn't know anything about him.
Right.
He was just a cool-looking guy that showed up in the background, and you're like...
And now you know exactly what he looks like.
Right. And it's not, you know what? It's not as cool anymore.
Right. Because it's just a guy.
Yeah.
In a bounty hunter suit.
Yep.
So... yeah.
Yeah.
I think another problem was who the fuck was the main character? They had like 800, they had Obi-Wan, they had Anakin, but it's like when you show the main character for a movie, you almost always show them within the first okay, so they show going back to the first movies, like the original, they show of course Darth Vader, they show
set up your main
Leia.
villain. Yep.
And then they show Luke, and he's not far behind.
Right.
But it takes freaking forever for them to actually find Anakin. I think they do a bunch of shit before they
It probably takes a good 45
and
minutes.
they crash on this planet, and they're like, oh, here's the main character. And it's not even they're not this is the main character. They're staying with this person, and then you eventually find out that this is Anakin Skywalker.
They're not good movies. I mean, they don't have a story.
I mean, if you think
it's just
back,
a collection of scenes of things that happen.
Yeah.
This happened, then this happened, then this happened.
Yeah.
They don't always tie together, but who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a valid point. I don't know who the main character is. I mean, I guess Anakin, but like you said, he doesn't show up till fucking 45 minutes into the movie.
By proxy, he's the main character, yes, because him or Obi-Wan maybe, because he was in the first, he was in the other ones, and
yeah.
See, that's the problem. Who's the fucking main character? I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I guess you could say it's the
Bulba.
You could say it's the Emperor because
Yeah.
he's in all the movies.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe Star Wars is about the Emperor.
I think you solved it.
I mean, I guess it really is, right? Because he set all that shit up. But it's kind of why did it have to be like that? Why
he is the Phantom Menace? He is.
It's who the fuck was it? Who knows?
Who cares?
Yeah, it's who could it be? Who? It's well, it's definitely the guy that looks exactly like the fucking Emperor.
Nope, it's Sebulba.
It's Sebulba. He's fucking walking on my back legs. This is an original design, bro. And Anakin was just a horrible character. So the problem was if you can't make any of Mace Windu came off as an asshole, somebody that you felt was he's better than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anakin came off as someone that just whined all the time, and it's he had all these advantages. He was a Jedi; he could go and do whatever he wanted, but yet he bitched about everything. And then Obi-Wan, I felt was just there.
Right. I think George Lucas would say again about Anakin that's what he intended to do.
Well, yeah, of course. If you murder someone, of course you're going to say, I intended to murder them.
No, I mean, he intended for Anakin to be a whiny character.
Well, of course he would say that now. Did he really... Yeah. Do you think he didn't want any sympathy? Because even Darth Vader, you have sympathy for that character. Because you look at him and you're he's the Emperor's pawn.
Right.
And, even though he's an asshole, towards the end you're starting to think, this guy could be a good guy, but nowhere did I have sympathy for Anakin Skywalker, the guy that would one day be Darth Vader, which is just bad storytelling. Even most bad guys, unless it's a super, kind of like Expendables, where you're okay, Conrad Stonebanks is a total asshole, and you have no sympathy for him because you're not supposed to have sympathy for the 80s schlock bad guy. Mm-hmm. He does things for no reason. He kills his own henchmen for no reason. Anakin Skywalker didn't. He killed people for no reason too. The younglings and all that shit. Yeah. So does that make him an 80s schlock bad guy?
Yeah.
Maybe he's still writing bad guys the way he did back in the 80s or whatever. But the problem is Darth Vader had actual compassion to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because of the actor or what. I mean, I think George Lucas did great things in those original movies, and I don't think people can say that it wasn't George Lucas because he wrote those movies.
Right.
But I think also...
But he didn't direct?
Right. There are also directors that helped with some of that stuff, but I don't want to take away from George Lucas and say he wasn't at one time like in full control of what he was doing. And I mean, there was also Indiana Jones and stuff with Spielberg, because you also look at it now and you could say, well, maybe that was just Spielberg helping him. Well, look at fucking what they did to the Crystal Skulls when they both got a hold of that shit.
Exactly. Yep. I think you're right.
So, I don't know.
But that isn't, I mean, the original Star Wars, that was pretty much all George Lucas.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
always give him the benefit of the doubt.
He's got props for that. The sequels were just, or the prequels were fucking, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He's lost it.
But the reason I say that he intended to do that, I think he was going for a James Dean type character, and if you watch Rebel Without a Cause, I think that's his inspiration for.
But James Dean was cool.
No, not in Rebel Without a Cause. He was super whiny, an annoying character.
I can't believe you're even comparing the two.
Well, that was the first thing I thought, because I saw Rebel Without a Cause after I saw the prequels, and I was like, man, he's acting just like Anakin Skywalker in the prequels.
So he can't
super
act?
Annoying, whiny bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
So you're actually saying that James Dean and Anakin Skywalker are like the same guy?
James Dean in the movie
Rebel Without a Cause?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really say. I've never seen the movie, but I can't really anticipate. I can't really say that anybody is as bad as that character was as far as compassion.
He's not likable. I can't argue with you there.
And the problem was, I mean, I'm guessing in Rebel Without a Cause, he's supposed to be just like it says, Rebel Without a Cause. He doesn't give a shit. He does whatever he wants. He whines and stuff. But
yeah. He constantly has adults putting pressure on him.
Right.
They're holding me back.
Yeah.
I should be all powerful. It is kind of similar.
But the problem,
maybe I'm reaching, but
I think you're reaching around, bro. No, I think that the problem with that is, okay, so there's other things too. I think with Anakin Skywalker there are problems with
like all the dialogue,
like 150-degree switch from one scene being a good guy to the next scene taking a wrestling heel turn and killing people for no reason just because some guy told him that he could save his wife that isn't hurt yet.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it was just shitty writing and just...
It was horrible writing on top of horrible, dialogue.
Yeah.
Story, dialogue, acting.
Yeah.
It all failed on every level.
Yeah, I guess the problem was I also just put the first film as a bad thing. I put wrong with prequels, first film.
But the first movie probably had a couple of the best scenes of all the prequels. So that's why I can't...
Like what?
Like the lightsaber battle at the end with Darth Maul.
I didn't like that one.
You didn't?
No, because Qui-Gon Jinn died.
Yeah, that's true. It was a cool scene,
and to me, that ruins the whole movie.
It might have ruined the whole series. Because he was
think you're right.
A cool character.
Yeah.
Really could have used him in the next couple movies.
What, did you write stuff down?
Yeah.
You're like, fuck you, Mike. The prequels are great. I'm like, damn it.
I wrote stuff down, but everything I wrote down was just great stuff because I can't write anything negative. No. Although, ironically, I mean, a lot of it goes back to I wish it would have been a different way, which I think we'll get into.
Yeah, okay.
So, those aren't really super fair criticisms because just because a movie isn't what you want it to be doesn't mean it's bad. But I think we've hit on a lot of the things that are bad about it, which is mainly everything.
Right. We could go so much farther with this because honestly, I do think that okay, so I agree. If I go to a movie and it's not what I think it's going to be and it's totally different and I'm upset, that's not the director's fault.
Right.
But I think that the problem is that the movies took like a 180-degree turn almost as far as to the theme of not so much some of the other things with putting things in that should have been on the cutting room floor, like the Senate hearings.
The entire first movie literally does not advance the story 1 second.
Yeah.
You could say maybe it sets up a couple of characters, but
they're not
you
even.
don't need to do that.
The problem is they kill off a character that should have been in the other movies.
What about Shmi Skywalker? We had to know her story.
Her rape and murder that happened from the fucking. What are the Jawas? Or not the Jawas, the
horrifying.
The Tusken Raiders or whatever.
These Jawas are raping me.
You know what I mean? Like that. They've got let's see, the pod race that didn't really do shit.
That's gonna be on my list of not criticisms, but we'll get there.
Of not criticisms? I won't say that the scene was bad, it's just there was no reason for it to be in the fucking movie.
Oh yeah, it was totally meaningless.
I mean, there are things, like I said, that'll be on my list that are good, but if you put them in a clip show, they'd just be clips. It wouldn't be...
That's what the whole prequel trilogy feels like to me, is just a clip show.
Yeah. You could almost start
They're
with the
not
second
actual
movie,
movies.
honestly.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Because they even start up with the whole almost Star Wars thing where they're like, man, do you remember when we did this together? And he's like, yeah. It's like...
That's the stuff I liked.
Right, because it was like, that's what happened in the original ones. Right. But that's the problem. It's like there was too much stuff explaining, showing, like, you had to meet, like, Shmi, you had to meet, like, him building, like, you know, what was it, C-3PO?
So many endless Watto negotiations, bullshit scenes. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think what else. Okay, so, second movie. Because it sounds like, I don't know if we wrung all the shit out of the first one yet, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's such an easy target.
The whole droid battle and that CG is so bad.
It is.
Like, the problem is, like, it just looks so bad, and the Yoda and that looks so bad. It's like they made him out of wax or something. Like earwax.
Yeah.
Which they went to CG, and that was almost the only thing in the movies that made the movies better was them going on to a CG Yoda because he didn't look horrifying as fuck.
So ironic.
Yeah.
That the worst special effect in the prequels was the actual puppet that they somehow made way worse than they did like 30 years or 20 years before.
It looks worse when you had technology.
It makes no sense.
When you have more technology.
But that's the funny part, because like you had the same people working on it.
Yeah.
It's like inexplicable how it could be so
I think the problem was there wasn't, like, it was like, instead of everyone working together and, you know, George Lucas being like, yeah, we're doing a great job, guys, and it being more like indie and, you know, that kind of thing. I think it was more like he had the final say on everything, so he was kind of like, let's just get this here and we'll get that. And not only that, but I remember watching a behind-the-scenes thing of when they were like, okay, he's opted to write some more, and it was like, he looked like he was like, fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like sitting down, and he's like,
yeah.
What do I do? I don't have any ideas for
He
this
probably
shit.
wrote one page and he's like, all right, turn the cameras off. I'm gonna do this at the last minute.
He's like, here we go. And he's like, fuck, what do I do? He's like, we got to get some trade federation shit going here. That'll stretch it out. We got to get some shacks
He's
and
like, I have
sheds.
ideas. I got to turn on CNN here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, that'll stretch your shit out. It's like,
Teacher said it was due tomorrow. I got to get all these pages done.
oh my gosh.
But also, going back to Yoda, in the first movies, he was in like a swamp and it was real dark and atmospheric.
Yeah.
So you could kind of get away with maybe the puppet not being great. And then the prequels, he was in a fucking conference room with like fluorescent lights. Nothing's going to look good in there.
Not only that, but especially they made the puppet like completely new or different.
Yeah.
It was
So
like
bad.
it was like bright yellow for some reason. I don't get it. Like
It was like it was unfinished. Like they forgot to put on like the detail.
yeah, yeah. It was like straight up like made of like that stuff you put in your ears. That's like wax or whatever to like when you're at a
like
monster
like
truck.
latex foam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's latex foam in your ears.
I don't know.
You're like dead.
Brain.
They like,
Aneurysm.
yeah. So, anything more with the first movie? I mean,
No, let's.
second movie. Okay.
We could spend hours and hours picking them apart.
Second movie from the whirlwind love romance. Oh man, so wonderful. Of Anakin Skywalker, which began somehow when he was like 3 years old in the first one. He's like, I love you, and she's like, that's weird, but whatever. And then in the second one, like
I love you. Me too. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, not only that, but like they didn't look much different in age.
Yeah.
Like he sped up somehow. I don't know.
It's midichlorians, bro.
Yeah,
I
but
drank so many midichlorians and fucking aged.
he hasn't aged a day. But yeah, he was assigning detail to freaking. She's being assassinated by who the fuck knows. I don't remember much about that, but I remember the whole Count Dooku thing, which Christopher Lee is always a plus in a movie. But
Yeah, even though they gave him nothing to do.
it was pretty sad because he's a badass actor, and he's even back then. I mean, you look at
He was doing Saruman at the same time,
Right.
which was so much better.
yeah. So you look at that, and they're using a classical actor as an awesome role in Lord of the
Right.
Rings, and then you look over at Star Wars. It used to be the premier fantasy thing, and you're like,
It's like a cheap knockoff.
what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like Count Dooku, which I don't have anything wrong with the name Count Dooku. That's whatever. Okay.
Yeah, it's not great, but yeah.
Out of all the names like Sebulba and like Dick Knocker and all the other horrible names they came up with, like in the prequel,
That's Darth Dick Knocker.
like
Get it right.
Sebulba and like Watto and just
Yeah.
like Count Dooku is like the least number, like the last thing on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah. And General Grievous. God, but whatever. Okay, so. We've got those, and so Count Dooku or whatever. I think he had like another name, Darth something. Darth Dooku.
Darth Tyrannus.
Is that what it was? What was
I'm ashamed to even
what
say
was
some of this
General
stuff.
Grievous's real name?
I think that
Was just it. Okay, because he was like half man, half robot.
Yeah.
He was like the first Darth Vader.
right.
Hell yeah.
Prototype.
son. Prototype. He's the $1 man.
It's like we can't rebuild him.
Yeah. Because Obi-Wan shot him in the exposed heart.
He had one flaw.
Yeah.
His major fucking weakness.
Yeah, his fucking heart that for some reason was just there on the side of his metal body.
He had one flaw, no armor.
Yeah,
No way to
but he was
protect.
made of fucking metal. Anyway, so
Just cover the whole thing in metal. You're done.
yeah, it's true. No breathing room. So the second movie, I don't really know what to say about that. It just seemed like a blah.
Yeah, I think most people say that that's even worse than episode 1.
Yeah, I mean, the problem was they're bad in different ways. The first one because it almost feels like you're going to get diabetes from watching it because it's so sugary and kid-friendly. And the second one because it's just so phoned in and, like, everybody feels like they'd rather be getting a root canal
Yeah,
than
super
being in that
stiff.
movie.
Yeah.
And I remember reading stuff about how, like, Ewan McGregor was just, like, really pissed off about having to always work in green screen, and, like, it was just a nightmare because he had no one really to work with. He was just acting to no one. And he's, like, classically trained and, like,
That's a valid criticism. I mean, I think most actors would say it's easier when you have real stuff to look at and react to.
Yeah.
But my response to him would be, fucking man up.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
If
you're supposed to-
Oh, it's so hard. Well,
I think it's just
do a better job.
he's got a shitty script and he's got a shitty place to work. So I wouldn't blame him. I mean, he's done way better movies
I'm
than
not blaming
Star
him.
Wars.
I'm just saying I don't like when actors say they didn't do a good job because it was green screen.
Oh.
That's your job to act. Regardless, to
Of where
turn in a
you
good
are.
performance. I get that sometimes you don't have great dialogue to work with and there's nothing you can do about it, but don't say it's the fault of green screen.
That's surprising coming from you, Matt. You defend green screen. I'm looking at you right now. What do you have to say to that?
I'm not defending it, but sometimes you have to sometimes you have to use it.
In every scene.
No. And they use it outrageously too much.
I don't think I ever saw a scene that was not green screen
I think it
from
was
behind the
almost
scenes.
100%.
Which, I mean, like I said, I don't know if he specifically said that. I might
He
be
did.
just did he?
A lot of
Okay.
them did, yeah.
And I mean, I guess if everybody's saying that, I can't really say much more than like, yeah, I mean, I kind of I mean, I would be fucking pissed if I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to be looking at here? Like, I mean, I guess you still do your shit, but
if you're in a play,
sucks.
you don't look at. Oh, there's an audience there. It's not real. I can't act.
Yeah, but you have fucking scenery.
Not always.
Yes, you do. What are you talking about?
Not always.
Oh my god.
You can do a great play with no scenery. That's the purest form of acting, right?
Yeah, but you usually have other people to act off of.
Sure.
Unlike Star Wars.
Yeah, sometimes they didn't.
Which was like every scene. The only people that I think were in that movie consistently were like Samuel L. Jackson, Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, and Natalie Portman. Mm-hmm. Everyone else was a fucking like robot or whatever, or not a robot, but a stick or like a.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I guess they wouldn't even have a stick because it would just be like the diner scene. That would just be no one. Just maybe somewhere where we should look.
Yeah. Like pieces of tape on a wall. Yeah. That is what it was.
How weird is that? What would you do if, like, me and you were like, okay, let's make a scene, and then, like, I'm like, okay, Matt, I want you to go in that other room, and I want you to just talk to the wall for, like, half an hour.
Well, I'm not a professional actor, so I probably wouldn't do a good job, but I would think a professional actor would be able to do a good job.
I could see how, like, doing that day in and day out would be frustrating, especially if he wanted to do a better job, but, like, the dialogue was shit.
Ian McKellen said the same thing in the Hobbit movies, because the Hobbit prequels is a lot more CG, and sometimes he had to do scenes where it was just him, and he was like crying. Like they showed him crying afterwards. He's like, I can't do it. It's too hard.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it pisses me off when actors criticize it because it's their job to do it.
Yeah, but I don't know if I agree with that, honestly, because I think that like there's a long way from coming from like something that like Lord of the Rings that actually has good dialogue and a lot more practical effects than like something like Star Wars, where every single time I've seen something, it was like all green.
Yeah, it was super fake.
And they might have just also been just sick of looking at green shit. I don't know. I mean, I've never done green screen. I'm sure if you did it for like a day or a few days, you'd be fine. But I don't know how the fuck just going on to set every single day and be like, fuck, green screen again.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the originals and it's like everything was on a set. And you had shit to interact with and look at. And, I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, yeah, like, you do, if you're paid and you're looking at something, you know, have to kind of, like, come up with it in your mind, and they probably gave you cues, but it probably wouldn't be, like, as, I guess it kind of sucks because you know it's not going to look organic.
Yeah.
You're probably going to, especially, I wonder if you look at the stuff afterwards and you're like, this looks like shit.
Yeah.
Because everything was so, like, fake.
Yeah, it did look really fake.
Yeah. There was probably a couple, I mean, there was probably a couple sets, but by and large, I think everything in the background was CG.
Yeah, and I would criticize, you know, not the actors, but the filmmakers, you know, the director for those problems.
Why is this happening, Matt?
Is this our first fight?
No, not this. I meant, why is this happening more and more?
Because it's easy, and people are lazy.
Yeah. What was your other thing?
Akira Kurosawa, you know, the legendary Japanese director, would put, like, if he had a set that was inside a house, like in a kitchen, he would have them put actual silverware in the drawers.
Nice.
Not because, you know, you'd never see that, but just having it there would somehow make it seem a little bit more real.
Like it's an actual place where people live.
Yeah.
And
that's the total opposite of the Star Wars.
Right. Where it's like, let's do as little as possible.
Right, because it's easier.
Yeah, to get this scene over with. Mm-hmm. Well, it's sad because you also look at something like Star Trek, where it's like, a lot of times they do have scenes, and that's like a TV show.
Yeah.
And they have like sets and like all that kind of stuff. But anyway, did you have something else?
As far as criticisms?
Yeah.
Wait,
we were just going through episode 2.
Yeah.
And we got off on that tangent. Episode 3?
Perfect, A+, loved it.
Cool, I agree.
No, episode 3 is probably the best of the prequels, but again, it's not a movie.
Yeah.
There's if there is a story, it doesn't make sense.
You can't watch
it's a sequence of scenes put back to back.
Yeah, and what's worse is you can't watch it by itself, really, and get what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
You have to have really seen the other ones, and even watching them all together, you have to kind of like know Star Wars
Right.
lore and be like totally up on all your Star Wars stuff to really care or even know what's going on, because you come away from it being like, okay, there were a lot of clones in 2. Those were Jango Fett, which is Boba Fett's dad, I think, and why were they being made? And then, you know what I mean? It's just a bunch of...
who cares?
Yeah, like, oh, I found it. Can we use these clones? No one else came up for them, so I'm going to pick up the clone shipment. My name's Obi-Wan Kenobi, and,
Yeah.
And then the third one, it was like... Oh, was that the same one? No. That was the Attack of the Clones was the second one. So the third one was where he becomes Darth Vader and all his limbs get burned off somehow. I don't really remember how that happened.
Obi-Wan cut off his arms and his legs somehow with one leg strike.
Oh, yeah. And for no reason. He could have just cut the arm that was like holding the lightsaber off, or the hand. Instead, he was like, "You're fucking..."
Or his head.
Yeah, he's like, "You're a fucking amputee for life."
He like took one slash, and his arms and legs came off.
Yeah.
I'll never understand.
It's like fucking Monty Python.
It
style.
is.
And then like Darth Sidious or whatever his name is, the Emperor, is like, "Okay, I'm gonna make you Darth Vader now."
Yep. Which
It's
was
like-
his plan all along, even back to his Phantom Menace days.
But it's like, why wouldn't you just cut his arms and legs off there? It's like, well, I'm just gonna hope that Obi-Wan Kenobi cuts his arms and legs off.
On a mountain,
Yeah.
so he can get
And
nice
leaves
burned.
very quickly, and he doesn't die, and I'm able to come in and grab him real quickly.
Leaves him sitting right next to lava.
Yeah, but he
But he
doesn't.
won't die.
Yeah, he doesn't burn very quickly. Oh my God, he's like, that was like so horrifying. I think that was the scariest, like, most gruesome thing in all of Star Wars,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was so. Like, Obi-Wan was an asshole. Like, why the fuck did he do that? Like, I know Anakin was like out of control, but like, Obi-Wan obviously knew that he could probably beat him.
Yeah.
He did beat him, so he could have just at some point knocked him out. They could have captured him. Instead, he cut all his arms off and his legs.
How many arms did he cut off? All of them.
Cut all of his arms off.
Oh my God! All
But
of them.
only 2 of his legs. He's an Anna spider. He's an Anakin spider. He's a freak. So, trying to think. I mean, what else? I feel like
I don't know, because there's a lot of things I like about it.
yeah. Maybe we'll come. Maybe this will just transfer into like
Yeah.
it being good stuff. I don't know. This is a short list for me.
So we want to talk about some positives.
Sure.
Do you have any other criticisms you want to bring up?
I mean, I can't really think of anything right now.
Now that you've crushed my spirit.
I know that like once we're through with the podcast, I'll probably think of something. But
Okay.
okay, so I guess we're gonna move on to the lighter side of things with Star Wars: The Prequels, if that's possible. There's
Okay.
a couple things here, I'm sure. You want me to go ahead since I've shit on them? So
Yeah, sure.
you're like, please, before I kill myself. Speaking of CG, I actually liked the diner scene.
So did I.
Really?
Yeah. It was one of my favorite scenes.
I think the reason why I like the diner scene is because it's Obi-Wan with someone other than Anakin, and he's got a friend that isn't Anakin, and the character is actually a cool character, and he's like harkens back to like, you know, like those old like diner, like, hey, this the
Yeah.
kitchen guy,
Yeah.
you know, that like knows all the information and stuff. And it was cool. He came over and, you know, they talked and stuff, and I was like, I kind of wish this was the movie, not the other shit that's about to happen. And like, you know, sadly that scene lasted was way too short in my opinion.
Yeah.
I forgot another thing about what sucks. When they fucking, because I brought up Obi-Wan, when they go to that room and they fucking lost a planet. You remember that shit?
Yeah, it was terrible.
I don't really get what that was all about. They were like, wait a minute, Obi-Wan lost a planet, what happened? And the kids are like, well, we're fucking, what if it's not supposed to be there?
It was all part of the conspiracy that no one could ever care about.
I am Jesse Ventura, and this is Conspiracy Theories.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Why don't you come up with? I'm sure you've got like a billion things. So
I just have a few.
100.
Number 1 of 10,000. The music.
Okay.
The music and the prequels is awesome.
Yeah, I can't
across
really
the board.
say anything about that. But that's Sean Williams. He's badass regardless.
Williams got a Williams.
How many do you have?
4.
4. Oh.
Well, 3. And then I have one major, how it would have been different.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, okay. We can do that after all this. Cool.
Right.
Qui-Gon Jinn, I brought that up earlier. Fucking, if they wouldn't have killed off Qui-Gon Jinn, the movie would have been so much better.
It's Liam Neeson's.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You can't. That's kind of just like a running thing, though. Throwing away like great talent, throwing away Christopher Lee, throwing away Liam Neeson. Maybe Ewan McGregor was being a bitch. I don't know. Whatever. Samuel Jackson. I feel like he was stifled. He's usually very energetic in movies.
Oh, yeah.
And in this movie, he seemed just very full of himself. He didn't. I don't think he meant to come off that way, but he seemed like he was someone that Obi-Wan, like, no one would ever trust as a Jedi, because he was someone that would just be like, well, you're wrong. I'm Yoda. As a taller guy.
Yeah.
He just was very egotistical, and I think that sucks because everybody was making jokes like, my lightsaber is the one that says bad motherfucker on it, and I'm like, when is he gonna get to kick some fucking ass?
Yeah.
And it never happened.
Right.
He
Yeah.
should have he should not have died the way he did. He should not have died at all, and he should have kicked some ass.
Yeah, it was a horrible missed opportunity there.
But instead, since it was they didn't have to have him cussing. He just could have been angry, because if you want this to be like a kids movie, that's fine. But he never got out of control. He never got angry, hardly ever.
Yeah.
Even at the end, he's like, he's too evil to be left alive, and I'm like, well, first of all, that's not really the Jedi way if you're just gonna slaughter a guy. But second of all, that whole scene was just fuck.
This party's over. It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
you got to admit.
This party is over because I walked into the theater.
Oh!
So what's the another thing for you?
I liked the character of Obi-Wan, and maybe it's just because I like.
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, I like Ewan McGregor. I thought he did a good job. I mean,
after I got done shitting on him for the last hour.
Well, I shit on him too for bitching about green screen. But I thought he did a good job. He felt like the character. He felt like young Obi-Wan Kenobi to me. I don't know.
I thought he was just phoning it in the whole time. The problem is, I guess, though, with Obi-Wan Kenobi, you only see him for a little bit of the time, and then he's an older guy. So I guess you really wouldn't know, regardless, what he would have been as a younger guy. So maybe he would have been like that. I don't know.
He gets his ass kicked way too much. And
maybe that's what I meant. Is he went toe-to-toe with Darth Vader, and as an old guy,
yeah,
and he whooped his ass as a young guy, but by that equivalent, he should have been fucking kicking way more ass.
But he lost to Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
But, I always think back to one of my favorite parts of the whole
wait,
trilogy.
don't you mean Jango Fett?
Whatever.
What the fuck? He's not fighting a little kid, Matt!
He should have. He probably would have lost to him, too.
He pins him. It's ding, ding, ding. The winner of this match and still reigning champ, Boba Fett the baby.
He probably pinned himself.
Yeah, he's the new McFoley.
Yeah.
The many faces of Obi-Wan. Ding, 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 ding.
But yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of the whole it was just a real small thing, but in episode 2, when they have the chase through the streets. And they end at the bar there, and Anakin says, "What are you doing?" "I'm going for a drink." That was cool, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan says he's going for a drink?
Yeah. You remember that? It's just a small little thing, but I thought that seemed so...
I think by that point I was asleep. Because that whole was boring.
It was a bunch of CGI nonsense.
Yeah. I do think that was cool where he told that guy he didn't want to smoke anymore and told him to go home or something.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool scene.
I think the problem was it should have been more with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like there was enough.
Yep.
But Christopher Lee wasn't used enough.
Nope.
Wait, that's a bad thing. Hold on. With Christopher Lee, not so much. Count Dooku. What? Why did I write that? That's not good stuff. That's bad stuff. I think what I meant was Christopher Lee being in the movie was good stuff.
Yeah,
But
that's cool.
then that didn't really make sense. Shit, so I guess maybe I only had 2 things.
I have one more.
Okay.
You're not gonna like it.
You're a butthole. You say that and I'm like...
The pod race was kind of cool.
I didn't say the pod race wasn't cool. I just said it was unneeded in the movie. Like, if you're...
But you learn so much more about the characters. Anakin goes on an emotional journey.
How sad is this that we're saying, like, the best things are, like, a fucking diner scene and a pod race scene?
And one line that Obi-Wan says that you can't even remember.
Oh, God.
I do have one other, actually.
Oh, yeah.
The first, like, 10 or 15 minutes of Episode 3, like, the space battle.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
That's where the movie should have started.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The whole trilogy
Yeah.
could have started there.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Wait, did I say movie?
Well, yeah.
That's where the third movie should have started. The
You're
first
right.
10 minutes. That's where it did start, you dumbass. The name is Dumas.
That makes me want a mug root beer.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I totally agree. Like, the third one is where it should have started. Yeah. Honestly, this is where we could probably go.
Yeah.
Like, this is where we're probably going to spend some time. Pretty much booking, as I like to say, what our fantasy, Star Wars would be. You want to go first, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have like an overall thing, but just some things that I would have liked to be different.
Yeah.
First being the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another cool little reference in the first Star Wars.
Right, yeah.
You were in the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
and your mind like was blown by what the Clone Wars could be.
Right.
And in my mind, I always thought of like Anakin and Obi-Wan being like badass generals
Right.
in like a Terminator 2 style war zone.
Yeah.
Like, how much cooler would that have been than what the movies were, which is like a bunch of CGI little creatures running around and like, pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
So that was super disappointing because I always thought of a picture like Obi-Wan and Anakin with like huge, assault rifles, like
They were
blowing
shooting
away
lightsabers.
dudes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
the possibilities were endless, and what we ended up with was like a cartoon,
Yeah.
G.I. Joe style.
Yeah, it just kind of stinks because the cartoon was like better than the movie.
It kind of was.
Yeah. But
Obviously, the first movie, like, you don't need to see Anakin as a little kid
yeah.
at all, period. There's no reason for it. I really didn't need to see any of the prequels. I could have lived
Yeah.
without them.
Yeah.
Because I think the only thing anyone knew for sure was, like, Anakin and Obi-Wan would face off at some point.
Right.
And that's how he became Darth Vader.
Right. Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean.
And I thought that scene was kind of cool, too. But that's
Yeah.
just me.
What, where they like fought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until it got so ridiculous where they're, like, climbing around on, like,
They were on the thing in the lava. Yeah.
It turned into a video game.
Yeah.
But up until that point, I thought it was kind of cool.
Is that how you would like want things to change or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it simpler.
I'm like, oh, so that's it, huh?
Yeah.
No. That's a good idea, like with the whole Warzone thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, for whatever reason, that's just what I pictured in my mind.
Yeah.
And it would be so much cooler.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I always thought that like they should start the movie at like that. Maybe, well, I guess I could tie in. I mean, the third movie almost should begin like an hour in. You should see him become Darth Vader.
Yeah.
There should be another at least like 30 or 45 minutes of them doing stuff, him as Darth Vader. And then like episode 2 should have been him like going out and hunting down Jedis and just showing how brutal Darth Vader was, even though he was still, he still was like a badass. Mm-hmm. And they should have done that, but at the same time, they should have had his like wife, like still like alive, but then like maybe something tragic happens where he accidentally kills her. Like he goes into like stop this Jedi that's in there, but like he accidentally like destroys the building and like she's in it
Or
he doesn't know.
What if Obi-Wan was having a thing with her too? So it was like a little love triangle
Right,
thing
yeah.
happening. That could have been.
Just something like...
Possibilities are endless.
There's no... Like, I always thought, like, because in... it would have been nice to actually have other Jedis not just be shot down in the back by, like what was it, the Stormtroopers?
Yeah, you never
and them
picture
not
a Jedi being shot in the back.
Yeah, especially one of the very first things you see is, okay, so you know that Jedis are really good. I mean, you see Obi-Wan, he's never killed by a shot in the
Are the
back.
Jedis really good? Because I saw little baby Jedis with little fucking baby lightsabers. So apparently,
Well, those are babies, not men. Not men like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
That apparently, okay, so they were able to sense that there was going to be toxic gas. Then they held their breath for super long.
And they ran at light speed
Yeah.
to escape.
So with
They
that
never used any of those powers.
With that in mind, you then get to the end of the movie where Order 666 is delivered, the mark of the beast. And the Stormtroopers, in slow motion, shoot all the Jedis in the back and kill their friends. That some of them turn around and see them about to kill them. But not only, I mean, okay, so if this is happening, and we're going to say that, like, I guess Jedis, they do have some sort of power to see the future, because Yoda used to do it all the time. He's like, we've got a prophecy, we've got all this bullshit. Of course, that turned out to be, like, the anti-prophecy. It turned out that they brought Darth Vader around.
Right.
But, like, if all Jedis have precognition abilities and they're able to, like, at least see a little bit into the future, they have the spider sense or something, whatever it is, they should all at least be able to know that they're about to be shot in the fucking back and not just be like, well, whatever, they're actually, I've been fighting with these people and they're great friends, so there's no way they would do that, even though we really don't know anything about these clones other than they were being made by some unknown person, and I'm just going to trust my lives to them.
You're forgetting one thing. The dark side clouds everything.
That's impossible, Matt.
That's all I got.
I know they do say that, but, like, I just find it very hard to believe that, like, the dark side could extend over galaxies, and, well, not galaxies, but, like, over planets and all that kind of stuff. While this is going on, it's just, you would think that at least, like, a couple would survive, but they all were, like, dead.
Yeah.
Or you would be led to believe. Maybe some escaped, but you don't know that because every single scene they're all being shot.
Right.
And it's like, where's the love for the Jedi in these movies? Like, it's nowhere to be found.
Yep, you're right. It's not.
And, yeah. I guess that's why the last one's called Revenge of the Sith, right? Or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It should have been called Fuck the Jedi. But yeah, like, they should have just started with that, him hunting down Jedi. Something happens with his wife. Obviously, he never finds out he has children. Like, he should never know that. Because, like, to me, that didn't make sense at the end of the movie. He knew she was pregnant. Like, he had to have known, but yet somehow he never went looking for them.
Yeah.
Like, and not only that, but he didn't go looking on the one place that, like he probably should have, which was where he lived.
It makes no fucking sense.
It's like, we'll hide them where no one will find. Fuck that. Send them to, like, Dagobah or whatever with fucking
Anywhere.
with Yoda.
Literally anywhere would have been better.
Because he could have trained them. It's like, no, we're just going to have one of them over here, and Obi-Wan's going to keep an eye on him, never reveal himself until, like, it's almost too fucking late.
Yeah.
And then Yoda's just going to hang out in the swamp for, like, years for no reason. And then, like, Leia's going to be raised to be, like, a princess.
Yeah.
And not use any of her latent Jedi abilities ever. So,
Until episode 7.
Oh, shit. Do you think that's going to be sweet, Matt?
I do.
I do, too. After we got done ripping the prequels apart. That's okay. We've got some pretty good people at the helm writing and stuff, I think, so.
We'll find out.
Yes, we will, Matt. Should we even touch on Jar Jar Binks.
No.
We didn't even say anything about that guy.
I mean, what is there to say? One of
Yeah,
the greatest
that's true.
characters since The Godfather,
Yeah.
or maybe was it
I don't know if I would go that far because The Godfather doesn't really hold a torch to Jar Jar.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
I mean, what can you compare him to? Like, Shakespeare never wrote a character as good as Jar Jar.
I think if
He was the best writer ever made.
That's. I think if I had to like compare one thing to Jar Jar Binks, it would probably be like a big pile of fucking shit. Oh no, he's not a big pile of shit. He's just. It's sad that was the character they needed for a catalyst in the movie. It's like what? Okay, so let's take the goofiest character you can ever imagine. Like, actually, let's take just Goofy, the character, and make him into a Star Wars character.
Pretty much.
But let's not make him be funny like the old Goofy like cartoons were. He's just annoying.
You know what's funny?
As fuck.
Full House. Let's have him quote Full House lines. That's what all the kids are into these days.
Yeah, something that they have no clue what it is.
And wasn't funny to begin with.
Yeah, let's do that. And then when everyone hates him, we'll actually reform him and make him a serious character that has no comedic value at all, and try to pass it off as he knows what he's doing when really he's being manipulated by Darth Sidious, the Emperor, into signing in like this, kill everyone that doesn't like dills or whatever. I don't know what the hell I was gonna say there. Kill whatever. It was so stupid. It's like,
I mean, that's like you said, beating a dead horse at this point. What else is there to say?
I don't know. I mean, we picked this one as the inaugural one, but it's kind of like, I feel like it's just a lot to talk about.
I think we should close the chapter on this and
Yeah.
move on to healing. We can start healing.
So, Star Wars prequels wasn't that bad, actually. I mean, I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
In conclusion, the Star Wars prequels are awesome. The end.
Thanks for listening. We've wasted your life. No, I think when you look back on it and you see, obviously there was merchandise for the first movies when they saw how great it was, but you look at all the merchandise for these movies and you see for the prequels and you see they had like tie-ins with Pizza Hut, they had like
Burger King,
Pepsi. Like Pepsi.
Yep.
There were like so many things going on. It's like they had this stuff ready to go before like the movies were even written. And that's what it's about. It's like it was about, I think that's one of the big things. The original ones especially were made about telling a story, like even as simple as it was, the old hero and villain and everything, to these being more about, let's see how many toys we can sell. And it kind of seems like, because, I mean, even back then, they had toys, obviously, of the people.
Ewoks.
But it was, Ewoks what? There were toys for them?
I think that's the whole reason they were invented.
Oh, for toys?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't really say that because, like, they had toys, but they weren't really plentiful back then. As far as, like, now you can mass market, like, a turd.
Compared to now.
Yeah. Like, yeah, of course there are, like, but I think it was more variety of actual, like, life forms. It was kind of cool that they had different, like, they had Tusken Raiders, Ewoks, and, like, humans, or whatever the fuck you would call them, on one planet. Whereas, like, most of these planets are like, hey, we got, like, all... Like, it's a Jar Jar and Human Fest on one planet. And one planet's, like, all Wookiees. Like, why would a planet be all Wookiees if this planet had, like, 18,000 different species on it?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I don't know what much more to say about it than fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
Just trying to get that buck, son.
I think we need to let the healing begin.
Fuck that, Matt. Are you going to heal?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Never.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything else really to say. It feels like I'm kind of like stretching things out here, but I mean,
I think we said our piece.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, if hopefully, I guess if you're still listening to this, then this has been a podcast with Mike and
Matt.
Yeah, and me, Mike, and me, Matt, and thanks for listening to what we had to say about the movies we liked, the movies we were looking forward to, and ranting about Star Wars prequels. I'm sure you may or may not have disagreed with what some of the things we said, but hopefully you guys were entertained, with what we had to say. And thanks for listening. Do you have anything else to say as far as just anything in general?
I'll end with can't wait till next time.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. So thanks for watching, guys, Thanks for watching your screen and listening with your ears. Look up, look down, look out, motherfucker. So yeah, thanks for listening. Whoops, sorry, that was the cup this thing's been in the whole time.
Professional show.
I know. So anything else? Okay, so that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.